What's up? We're Giselle and the Night Owls, and I was born and raised in Cathedral City.
Ceja, play drums, and I live in Coachella.
Hi, I'm Chris. Colin, I also grew up in Indio City.
Janine Rivera. I grew up in Indio, right here.
Murrieta from Coachella.
So tell me about this show you guys just played for the community. One of those once-in-a-lifetime moments to open up a brand new stage here in Indio in the midst of a huge arts revival here in town. What are all the emotions, directly following your guys' set, right?
Excited?
Damn.
The whole
That's
time,
really all I can say.
the whole time
Damn.
we're nervous because it's the first time we're playing this venue.
Yeah.
So yeah, but excited more than anything.
It was really exciting to see how many people were out there and how many people were really engaged.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of families and stuff, and when you play music that you can dance to, there's a really good connection with the crowd. And it doesn't happen the same way with other forms of music where people are kind of watching you. You know what I mean? So definitely really
It's nice to see.
refreshing to see that engagement in all ages and stuff.
Definitely exciting. It feels very familiar. A lot of people that put this on are from here too, so it's nice to be like, hey, what's up? So it just felt like a big reunion of sorts.
Definitely. Has it been somewhat of a surprise to see how well your guys' music is relating to communities and welcoming that family atmosphere?
Yes and no. No, because we like it. Honestly, we're just playing stuff we love. We've all grown up in some way or form, and we're playing it, it's because we fell in love with it first. So when we bring it to the people and they can relate, they can dance to it. It's just like you just don't feel alone, and just seeing that community reaction, seeing everybody just gathering, I was like, wow. I mean, these are the moments that I think for us make it that much more worth it.
It's cool that we can transcend playing in bars and show backyard shows. Because don't get me wrong, it's not like that's a bad thing, but it's a different vibe from when you're playing at a bar or brewery or something like that, and there's people your age, and there are people there to drink and have a good time. So it's kind of cool to transcend just that and then be able to do a community event as well. We don't have to really change much about what we do. We can do the same thing and it still translates well.
Yeah.
And can you tell me more about the, connecting with people's music, especially with all the culture that you feel like you pour into the songwriting and stuff like that?
Well, it's amazing because if you're listening to us, you listen to a lot of the Latin influence. Maybe all of us went to quinceañeras and weddings and we fell asleep listening to cumbias on 2 chairs, so you hear the cumbias, you hear the guys with the rock, you hear a lot of the funk, you hear Marco is always doing something super badass on the bass. So you just hear a little bit of everything. And I think the older we're getting, the sound is maturing and it's a little more thought out. So that's beautiful.
Trimming the fats.
Yeah.
We kind of grow into our own sound a little bit too,
Yeah. Definitely been together since 2018, and even the way it feels, and it's always been amazing, but lately it's just every time it's what the, we surpassed the last time, and every time we're connecting with more and more people, we just performed at the amphitheater in Cathedral City. There was 400 plus people there, and and like you said, there's just all kinds of different ages coming out and enjoying, families, older couples, friends, all kinds of amazing connections with. I'm glad that the music is for everyone. That's always great.
Yeah, you mentioned, a lot of the, Latin influences connecting deep with the people here in town, of course. But when you play for audiences that, are outside of that sphere, do you feel like people are walking away learning anything from the songs that you guys are singing?
Definitely, probably. It might be something they've never heard before or never heard that is possible, a bunch of fusions that we do, singing in English and Spanish. I think that a lot of people, that's what that surprises them, and they make it a point to let us know, that was really good, or, so yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, but I think the best part about it is every performance is different, because at the moment how we all feel is everything plays into all at once when we're on the stage together. So some gonna be happy, some of us are nervous, and I get too excited, and then having Giselle come over and being like,
Calm down.
breathe, yeah, so that all pours into experience of it. So then when people go, it's like, dude, that was insane. Like, I always feel like when I was in high school, I would go see a punk band or something. I'm like, I don't know what I just saw. I had no clue what they said, but that was sick. Walking out with a bloody eye or something. But, it was such a fun experience because the music related. So I guess that's what I hope people take from it. They dance, they sing, they were family. Yeah.
Yeah, and especially people they don't speak Spanish or grew up in the Latin community. I think that they can listen to Christian play guitar, and he's like, just like you're feeling the music. So maybe you're not understanding it, but as long as you're feeling it, it's like
definitely.
Yeah.
So I think they connect to that, to the feeling. It's like, oh, I don't know what she's saying, but wow, I feel something.
Yeah, music is definitely very emotional, right? It's within each of us, and it's more human than a lot of other things that people say are human.
Oh yeah, it really hits a chord. Like you said, music is in all of us. Wow.
I'd love to ask too, not too far removed from you guys playing at Coachella, what can you guys tell me about an experience like that and how you carry things that you might have learned or experienced there into other times where you get to play for a large community of people who love music?
It feels honestly around this like the same. It's very similar. I feel like we go into every gig kind of the same way. Obviously, when you get there and you play, you get a different feedback. And you get a different just feeling of what, like Jose said. Like sometimes you have something to prove. You're out of town. You want to you need to win over the crowd or all kinds of experiences like that. But I think the biggest thing is professionalism. What we learned the most. I mean, you get varied degrees of professionalism. Sometimes if you do a backyard show, you're not gonna go and ask for a sound check. You know what I mean? That's just kind of. But something like a bigger venue like this, now we know the process of doing sound checks and we know what we have to do.
And the sacrifice.
Yeah.
To be out here for 4 hours because we want it to sound good.
Yeah.
We care about how it's gonna sound. We want to get here and hit it. We don't want to get here and be like, can I get more of this in my monitor? I didn't mention monitors at all. Because in the end of the day, we know how we sound. And we rehearse so well, we can almost get away with no monitors, because it's in us, it's almost engraved, we're on it. But we do it because it's the professional thing to do. So Coachella, that was amazing. We just rolled in, and it's they just carried you for the rest of the way until you had to perform. You walk in with your gear, and they're hurrying to grab them.
They
from
take
your
it
hand.
from you.
They're just so on it, man. A little tent in the entrance, and then they drove us to our stage, Sonora's stage, and our gear was already there. It's it was a dream, dude. A dream like that, but it takes so much advance, and you have to learn how to, do.
If you don't know that's what they're gonna give you.
Input this, what you need, mics, what gear do they have, backline, do they offer? Is it gonna work for us? We learned so much,
I think what still sticks.
And maybe we kind of, maybe we kind of expect that, now after, but.
But I mean, it
That's
was nice.
okay.
Yeah.
It was nice, no?
We're all
Fortunately, you have to carry your guitar.
Yeah, right.
Boo-hoo.
Right? Boo-hoo. Get over it.
I mean, you work so hard at something and you reach a level where you feel this is.
And of course, like I said before too, if you go to a certain gig, you don't want roadies and you know what I mean? You kind of can feel out the difference between obviously budget too.
Yeah.
But
Tamale Festival took care of us too.
Yeah.
They were really amazing too. That was a cool experience.
Yeah. I remember the sound guy telling me too, because I was trying to get his attention and I couldn't get in. I think I yelled or something. He's like, bro, just yell at me. I can't hear you because I got so much stuff going around here. He's like, so if you need to yell at me, bitch, get the fuck over here. He's like, just go for it. I was like, all right. And that, that was a whole new thing, but
Yeah.
I guess you got to do it.
Definitely. Yeah.
Awesome. And wrapping up here, I'd just love to hear you guys' thoughts. It's an interesting parallel to compare you guys, working so hard at this for so long, finally at a point where you're getting some success, the music is thriving. Compare that alongside, Indio with all the arts going on here, finally, having a safe space for a lot of artists and a supporting place for music. Can you guys tell me what it's like to be a part of something like that and to see a not only just a scene grow, but a support grow for local music all around this block and in the desert in general?
It truly feels like, we're growing together at the same time. It's almost symbiotic. Like, somebody, the city's doing well, and then everybody else starts doing well, and it's a beautiful thing to witness firsthand. You know.
Yeah.
It's something I would never expect this part of town to be the way that it was, but I'm so glad it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I grew up in Indio, and this was not even close to what it is now. And the only way you got to experience something like this was if you went to Coachella. And then you're like, whoa, it's a different world. But now, like, earlier we went to the tap house and we had a beer, and it felt like we were in a different city. So to see that, like, is amazing. And hopefully the younger kids growing up, they're like, oh, I want to play that stage, you know, and people will be proud of their city, you know. So it's exciting for everybody.
I think on the safe space part, I think there's definitely room for improvement. I think there's a lot of things that maybe the younger generations are actually doing better than when we came up. There's a lot of things that we did wrong, and I think there's nothing wrong with not that there's nothing wrong, but there needs to be accountability for us as musicians in the scene. And I think that's something that can improve, especially in the Valley as a general, just, you know, holding musicians accountable for what they do. And again, I just think that's it. It's not that it's a horrible thing, but it's something that we can definitely improve on.
Yeah.
And it kind of reminds me of what I said earlier about getting here and it just feeling like so familiar, you know. Hey, you know, like just like a reunion of some sort, because we've all kind of been in this movement together for over a decade, you know, for some of us. I mean, Angel, he's producing shows in his backyard, and this is kind of like
Year 4.
towards that goal, you know, towards and it gives me the chills because it's actually going. They're not giving up, and this is how far they've gotten. They're, you know, petitioning to take over Second Saturdays, and it's like this is a community event, you know, like and it feels like it. So I'm just excited to be a part of it. Eastside has always been so welcoming and always felt like home to me, very much so. So I love it. I love to see it, and I want to see it. Share it. Got some.
Sweet.
He's on
That was nice. No, but like she said, most of us have been doing this a decade. I've been playing with Chris and Marco for like 10 years, Giselle and Janine 6, but I mean, even some of the people that came over, I'm like, God, wow, that long. But, you know, a lot of the people that came by, we played shows with them in like thermal mecca in the backyard dirt, you know, just getting down. Yeah, there you go. Yeah. And it's like, wow, going from that to something like this, just it's extremely humbling, but it's
leveling up.
Yeah,
They're
definitely.
like Pokemon. No, just me.
Not just
Awesome.
Murrieta, man.
Well, thank you guys so much for your time. I appreciate it, and thank you, like, you know, going back to what Janine said earlier, making people proud, you know, to be from the desert. So,
Thanks, man.
thank you.
Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you guys.